Alright, I'm going to show you a little something I like to make for breakfast. And it's pretty easy. It's a egg-based situation here. So, I'm going to take a little bit of butter, put it in the skillet, let that heat up while I chop up some veggies. Got a little bit of red onion here. Just a little bit. And dice that up pretty finely. And throw that in your pan. A little bit of a mushroom. Same deal. Chop it up fairly fine. However you like. If you like it chunky, then leave it chunky. Who am I to judge? But get that in there. With your onion. Also have a little leftover red pepper, bell pepper, and some of an orange bell pepper also. So just a little bit of that. Get that diced up. And in our pan, alrighty, give this a little zhuzhing around here. And you just want to let this go for a couple minutes to soften up before you put your eggs in. I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil to this because it needs just a little bit more of something going on in here. Just a little drizzle. Now, once you get this going, what I'm going to do is take this Parmesan cheese. Usually I use a shredded or grated, shredded Parmesan instead of grated, but I don't have any right now, so we're just going to use this regular grated Parmesan cheese. And you just put a nice little covering on the bottom of the pan, and that's going to get brown and crispy and delightful. So you get that going, let it, crisp up just a little bit, and I'm going to crack my eggs in on top of that. Ordinarily, I'd slice up a little bit of julienne, some spinach, and sprinkle on top, but I don't have any of that right now either, so we're going to throw some tomatoes on there. Do have a little bit of cilantro, which I love, so I'll throw that on there. So we'll get us, I don't know, I'm going to go with a few of these little cherry tomatoes, a little different colored, little small tomatoes. Give them just a quick rinse. And I'll go ahead and cut these up. And I just usually cut them in quarters, maybe eighths if they're good size. I know I got you blocked up here. I got my bone broth going. So I will slide that back so you can see a little bit better. And once we get our tomatoes cut up, this is starting to look pretty good. I'm going to turn the heat down to about medium. And I like a good egg. These are, pasture raised brown eggs. You'll see the quality and the color of the yolk here in just a few minutes. And I just crack these right over top of the pepper and onion and mushroom mixture with my Parmesan cheese. And ordinarily, I like eggs sunny side up. A lot of people think that's gross, but, you know, whatever you like. I would put a lid on this to let it steam a little bit so that, you know, the white would get done over top of the yolk. But since I want the bottom crispy, I'm just going to cook it a little bit longer without the lid on, and it's still going to be delightful. So we're going to top this with our tomatoes. We can get them to the pan without dropping them. And a little bit, I got a tiny bit of a cilantro bunch left here. I'm going to sprinkle a little of this on top. Maybe a little bit more. And we do have the Parmesan on the bottom. I do have some goat cheese crumbles in the fridge, so why not? I like a little funky goat cheese. Let's throw a few of these on there. Hadn't met a cheese I don't like yet. So I don't believe you can go wrong with adding cheese. So just a little sprinkle of goat cheese. I'm going to give it some fresh cracked black pepper. And a little bit of sea salt, because I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't like eggs without salt. I try not to eat much sodium because I do have some heart problems, but I can't do it with the eggs. Gotta have it. So we'll let this go for just a couple of minutes until the whites are set and we got a nice crunchy bottom. Now if you like bacon or sausage or whatever, you can certainly put that in there too. Ham, whatever, you know, breakfast meat you like. I have some bacon in the fridge, but yeah, I didn't want to open the pack to cook a slice or two, so we're gonna do it without. You still get protein, you know, from the eggs and the cheese, so that's not really an issue. Go ahead, put this stuff back in the refrigerator while that's finishing up. Alrighty, throw this back in the bag and get it back in the crisper. This is getting real close. Get the plate out here. Bump that up just a tad to finish it off. The last little bits of cilantro off the cutting board. Just because. And then we'll get this plated up and get you a closer view of it. And I'm going to have my breakfast. And if you like scrambled eggs, you can do this with scrambled eggs. Scramble them up, throw them in there. I prefer fried eggs. My girlfriend won't touch a fried egg, so I do make this for her with scrambled eggs, and it's just as good. So whatever you prefer. So you got just a little bit of jiggle left. I can see the whites are just about set. starting to bubble through, and it's looking good and smelling good. And we're in the final few seconds here. All right, everything's looking good. So let's get this plated up. And here you have it. Some delightful fried eggs with a crispy Parmesan bottom. Got some peppers and onions and mushrooms and tomatoes. Sure, it's going to be good. Have a good one.